How's it going, everybody? I'm Steve, and welcome back. So tonight I want to do something really fun. I'm probably going to release this video on Friday, August 15th. It's actually my birthday. And I wanted to do like my top 20 favorite science fiction movies. When I started doing this, I kind of did some like older films and some newer ones. And I decided to kind of pinpoint a certain time period. So I decided to pick the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Because I would really say that's really my formative years as far as like movies and music. Really, I love that time period. But obviously, in the comments, let me know your top 10, top 20. It can be any decade, any film. So before we get started, I want to say, please have fun with this. Don't take it too personally. And I do want to mention a film here before the 70s. I think it's definitely influenced a lot of filmmakers in the 70s and after. But it's 2001 from Stanley Kubrick. Definitely a groundbreaking kind of film. It was on my list before, and that's why I decided to go with the 70s and after, because I didn't want to go too early before this, you know. But I definitely want to kind of mention this one. I'm also going to mention some other films and honorable mentions too, but in the comments. But I didn't want to get into that because it's obviously going to be a long video already. Okay, so number 20. This one's from 1997. Director is Paul Verhoeven. The movie's called Starship Troopers. This movie's a lot of fun. I saw this movie in the theater. It's definitely kind of a comical film. Has like horror elements. Definitely science fiction with aliens kind of thing. You have Casper Van Diem, Neil Patrick Harris, Denise Richards. This movie's a lot of fun, though. I definitely had to include this movie. Some people probably wouldn't, but I think it's great. Okay, so at number 19 for 1997 as well. This one's from Luc Besson. The movie's called The Fifth Element. This one's a lot of fun, too. I saw this one in theater as well. Like I said, it's from a French director. A really kind of strange kind of film, but it obviously has Bruce Willis, Mila Jovovich, Ian Holm, Gary Oldman. Chris Tucker is really fun in this movie. Very kind of weird kind of film. Very, very strange. It was something I had never seen before. Obviously, it has definitely a kind of European kind of flavor to it, but really love it. Okay, so number 18 for 1996. Director is Jonathan Frakes. The movie's called Star Trek First Contact. Love this movie. I saw this one in the theater. I really like the Next Generation cast. I really like the original cast as well, but obviously you have Patrick Stewart. You have Jonathan Frakes in the cast as well. Obviously you have Alice Krieg or Craig. She played one of the Borg. You know, I love the Borg. I thought this movie definitely is a kind of movie that would really appeal to Star Wars fans. It has a lot of action, a lot of Star Trek films. Some of them have action in them, but this one's a lot of fun. I just had a great time watching this one in the theater. So at 17 for 1987, director is Paul Verhoeven. The movie's called RoboCop. This one, some people kind of argue this one. Some people might say sci-fi horror, sci-fi action. Some people may say it's not science fiction at all. A lot of lists had this one on their list. So this one's obviously Peter Weller, Ronnie Cox, Nancy Allen. This one you can actually say there's a lot of comedy in this movie, really dark comedy. A lot of fun though. I love this movie. I don't like some of the other movies in this franchise, but I love the original. So at number 16 for 1996, director is Roland Emmerich. The movie's called Independence Day. Love this movie too. I saw this one in the theater. I saw all these movies in the theater. So love these, except for maybe one or two, but love this movie. This is so much fun. Definitely, I don't like the sequel to this one, but I love the original. Obviously, you have Will Smith, Bill Pullman, Jeff Goldblum, Randy Quaid. So much fun. Like I said, there's so much violence in this movie. You know, it's crazy to see what happens in this movie. Really kind of dark in some areas, but a lot of fun too. So at number 15 for 1986, director is David Cronenberg. The movie's called The Fly. This one, you can definitely kind of argue this one. It's definitely like body horror. You can say there's definitely like a sort of like a transporter kind of element to it. You know, there's a lot of really weird stuff. It's really kind of sad, you know, in some areas, definitely, especially the ending. But love this movie. Obviously, you have Jeff Goldblum, really great in this movie. Gina Davis. Okay, so 14 for 1977, director is Steven Spielberg. The movie's called Close Encounters of the Third Kind. So obviously I did not see this movie in the theater. I was way too young. But it's a lot of fun. It has Richard Dreyfuss, obviously. He's great in this film. Obviously he was in Jaws with Spielberg before. He played Matt Huber in that movie. But this movie's so great. I love it. It's definitely a movie. It's kind of hasn't stood the test of time quite as well, but I still love it though. It's such a strange kind of film, but you know, this is obviously a great film. So number 13 for 1982 for Nicholas Meyer. We have Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. So I said I like the original cast as well. Love the Next Generation too, but this one's a lot of fun. Definitely a really dark kind of film. Obviously, you have William Shatner, You have Leonard Nimoy. You have Ricardo Montalban. He plays Khan in the film. This is based on like a TV episode from the TV series Star Trek. So yeah, I had to definitely include Star Trek in my list here. It's definitely part of science fiction. Definitely really important. Before 2001. So I definitely had to include this one. So number 12 for 91, director is James Cameron. This is Terminator 2: Judgment Day. This one's a lot of fun. Obviously, it's time travel. You have Arnold in this film, Linda Hamilton, Robert Patrick. He plays like the villain in the film. He's great. I thought he was a great villain. Not as great as Arnold was in the first one, but he's really great in this one. Really terrifying. This one has definitely some comical elements that the first one didn't have. So at 11 for 1982, director Steven Spielberg. The movie's called E.T. This is definitely one that definitely carried over from my childhood. I definitely didn't watch a lot of like kids films when I was a kid. I grew up with like older people, like my parents and aunt and uncle and babysitters, and they were all older, so I didn't watch like a ton of cartoons when I was a kid. But this one definitely kind of carried over though. It's E.T.'s so great. He's so lovable, and it's such a family kind of film. But I love this one. I definitely had to include this one. But obviously, you have Dee Wallace, Peter Coyote. You obviously have Henry Thomas, Drew Barrymore. That's great. With the kids doing this film, it's so much fun. But yeah, I had to include this one. Okay, so we're in my top 10 now. We're going to get a little bit more serious. This is another one from 1982. Director is Ridley Scott. And we got Blade Runner. This one's definitely kind of dark, kind of science fiction. Obviously, you've got Harrison Ford. He's trying to break free of the Han Solo and Indiana Jones kind of thing he was doing at the time. You obviously got Sean Young. You've got the late Rutger Hauer in this movie. He's really great as a villain in this film. Like I said, really dark. I like the final cut the most. I think this one actually has all three in it. So at number 9 for 1999, this is from the Wachowskis. I've got the original Matrix. It's such a great film. I don't know if I really like the sequels to this movie, but I love the original. It's so great. Keanu Reeves, Carrie Ann Moss, Lawrence Fishburne. So dark, so different at the time. It's like nobody had ever seen that kind of those kind of special effects. Even after Jurassic Park, this is kind of taking another step beyond that. So so great. It's so memorable. Like I said, I don't even have to watch the sequels anymore. I can kind of watch this movie and love it that way. So number 8 for 1985, this one's from Robert Zemeckis. The movie's called Back to the Future. Love this one a lot. Obviously, you've got Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd. I like the second one, the third one a little bit less, but the original is the one I really like the most. It's so much fun. Obviously, it's a time travel kind of film. So I had to include this one. Didn't really think of this one as being science fiction, but obviously they go back in time, so it's definitely kind of science fiction-y. Okay, so at 7 for 1987, director is John McTiernan. We got Predator. So I love the original. Obviously, we've got Arnold. We've got the late Carl Weathers. You have Jesse Ventura. This one's so great. The other movies in the franchise I can definitely not watch. Don't have to watch over and over, but I love the original. I actually don't even own the other films anymore. I actually used to have those on Blu-ray, but I've watched all those movies in the theater. But this one's the best one for sure. So at number 6 from 1984, director is James Cameron, and we have Terminator. This one's really great too. Another one from Arnold. We got Linda Hamilton, Michael Biehn. Like I said, another time travel kind of film. Really dark. This one's really more of a horror film. A lot darker than the second one, but I've heard some rumors that this one and the second one might get a 4K release. And like a lot of people complained about the second one for years of how bad that one looks, but if they release that one good and it looks really good, I would definitely pick that one up. So number 5 from 1986, we have another one from James Cameron. We've got Aliens. This one's really kind of dark. I think the first one's really darker than this one. This one's really more of like sci-fi action, but it's definitely really great. Obviously, you have Sigourney Weaver, Paul Reiser, Lance Henriksen. This one's so great. I thought, obviously, Ridley Scott thought that James Cameron did a great job in the sequel. You rarely ever hear that from the original director in a franchise, say that they really like the second one in the franchise. You hardly ever hear that, but he really liked it, so I like it too. So number 4 from 1982, director is John Carpenter. We've got The Thing. This one's a really great. Rob Bottin did the effects in this movie. Really dark. It's really kind of like a horror film, but it's definitely kind of science fiction-y. I've loved this one. Obviously, Kurt Russell. You got Keith David in this film. They're really great in this film. It's really like like I said, really dark. It's really kind of bleak too, especially the way it ends. that way, but you know, obviously it's a great kind of alien kind of film. So at number 3 from 1979, director is Ridley Scott, and we got Alien, the original. Great film, obviously. I mentioned Alien in the last one. I think it's kind of foreshadowing that one, but this one's obviously Sigourney Weaver again, Tom Skerritt, Ian Holm, as the late Harry Dean Stanton. But I love both of them. Obviously, it's the second one's really a great continuation of the story, and obviously the first two are the really ones I really like the most from that franchise. But this one's fantastic. Okay, so number 2 for 1977, director is George Lucas, and we have Star Wars. So a lot of people would say this is like a space opera, it's not science fiction. I disagree. Obviously, IGN and IMDb say it's a science fiction film. I think it's part of science fiction. It's definitely different kind of elements to it, but I think it's definitely like a space kind of film. But obviously, we've got Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Alec Guinness, Peter Cushing. You know, such a great film. Definitely had to include this one on my list here. So at number 1 from 1980, director is Irvin Kershner. The movie's called The Empire Strikes Back. So obviously I had to put this one here. You've got James Earl Jones, the late James Earl Jones, gives us an iconic line as Darth Vader at the end of the film. Obviously one of the great lines of all time. You've got obviously Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher. You know, such a great film. I think that the first film's obviously really great. I think this one kind of tops it a little bit, just because of that ending, basically. But they're both really great. You can kind of have them at 1 and 2, kind of switch them if you'd like to. But I think they're both great. All right, everybody. Really appreciate watching this video. Like I said, please leave your top 10, top 20, top 25, whatever you'd like to do. Really, no wrong answers here. I think really. Please, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider doing that. Please put a thumbs up on this video. And everybody have a great one.